Let's get the read from Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton, who's got a good read on all these developments. Ken, always good to have you. I mean, there are a lot of people who are looking at this, though, and saying you can't gloss over the problems with ICE. You say what?
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree with that. We have to deal with problems, no matter whether it's with law enforcement or DOJ or my office. You always deal with issues, but these people are heroes. I don't know if any of these politicians have been along the border, but I have. I've been in boats. I've been on helicopters. I've gone on horseback, and these people are, I mean, they're in sometimes very unpleasant conditions, risking their lives. So, you know, they're doing the job that they were asked to do, and I appreciate it.
You know, Ken, obviously the president made a calculated political move as well to say, I stand by ICE. I'm not going to withdraw my support for ICE. And even Chuck Schumer on the Democrat side has said that this clarion call to, you know, get rid of it and all might have backfired, that it went too far. He'd been urging a lot of his more virulent members to calm down a little bit on it. But where do you see this going, and will it be an issue this election year?
You know, I'd be surprised if the American people were not supportive of the efforts of ICE and Border Patrol and Customs Enforcement. I think at least Texans and probably most Americans realize that we have a border issue and that they want security, they want to be safe. And so I think the president's doing the right thing, and I think maybe some of the Democrats are realizing this is an important function of government.
You know, Ken, it occurs on the same day the president, we're told, is very, very close to a NAFTA deal with Mexico, not with Canada. That one could be a while in coming. But if we do get a deal with Mexico and NAFTA, obviously for the incoming liberal government that takes office in December, that could be a game changer on the border issue, on the illegal immigration issue. There's a lot at stake there, right?
Oh, absolutely. As a border state, we do a lot of trade with Mexico. It's one of our main trading partners. So we have a heavy interest. It's important to us to have a good relationship with Mexico economically and every other way. So I do hope the president gets this worked out, because it's important to a lot of citizens of Texas, and I think ultimately to the whole country.
All right. Do you think, though, that in whatever deal he cobbles together on this NAFTA thing, that he gives up on this notion that Mexico pay for this wall?
Look, I don't. It's not important to me who pays for it, as long as we get the job done. Ultimately, it's all about negotiations, and I hope, you know, obviously, I hope that we negotiate a good deal for our country, and it's got to work both ways. So, in the end, all I care about is that we have a good deal for my state and for the rest of the country.
All right, a couple of billion was set aside to get going on this and advance this, but it's going to cost at least 10 or 15 times that amount, I'm told, to finish it, whether it's a structure or one combined with electronic type implementation. Is it your sense, though, that that's ever going to happen?
Yeah, and I hope it does happen. You know, we have a wall, at least along Juarez and El Paso, and before that was put up, El Paso had the highest crime rate in the country. Now it has one of the better crime rates. I know it works. Whether it's a wall, I think it's a combination of technology. As technology's gotten better, I think we can use that, and obviously we need more border agents. So it's not just one size fits all. It depends on what part of the border we're talking about. You know,
Ken, I just wanted to get back to the brouhaha that started this idea of eliminating ICE, and that is the separation of kids from their families. Now, a lot of ICE individuals are coming back to me and said, well, we were following the orders that were given to us from the Trump White House. By the way, orders or policies that were indirectly in effect in prior administrations, just not acted on, that the power is there to go ahead and do this, but that others have not followed up on that. What do you make of the argument, though, that ICE, it's easy to blame them in these events, but you might sooner point the finger at who's ever in charge of the White House, because they give the directives, ICE has to follow suit?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. I think ICE has to, they're just following the law. It is policies that were enacted by the Clinton administration that made this very complicated, both for the Trump administration and for border control. And so they're dealing with a very complicated, messy situation that was created by prior administrations. The fact that the Obama administration decided not to enforce the law was not a solution either. It caused more problems than it obviously helped.
All right, but it does and continue to galvanize the left. So I don't know what happened in the midterm election, but it's certainly among those core issues that's galvanizing the left. What do you think of that?
Well, no, I think that's true. I mean, no one really wants to see parents separated from their children, and that's why I think the Trump administration has struggled. They don't want that separation either. They were dealing with policies and law that they didn't put in place, and so hopefully Congress in the end is what we need them to address this. It's not really ultimately a Trump decision. It is a Congress decision.
All right. The president also has been talking a lot about the economy and the good earnings and the fact that Wednesday we could be looking at the longest bull market in American history. But it doesn't seem to have made a dent yet in some, not all, polls that you would think would benefit Republicans going into the midterms. What do you make of that?
Well, I don't really know what to make of that. Typically, if the economy is doing well, people vote their pocket, but I'm going to be surprised if that ultimately doesn't happen here. And, you know, obviously the economic figures are on his side and are on the Republican side. So I ultimately think when people get to the polls, they are going to pay attention to this issue. It's obviously they're in better shape than they were, you know, 3 or 4 years ago.
Ken Paxton, Texas Attorney General, good seeing you again. Thank you very, very much.